Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of You, Me, and He, a podcast that once thought we had mono for like a year, but it just turned out we were really bored. I am your host, Rob Lambert, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Drew Carroll.
Whoa, dude.
Apparently, I'm playing third string quarterback tonight.
Oh my God.
And this is Josh Frankenstein.
Dude, he was like super quick on the trigger with that one, man.
Just a little bit. Good night.
Are you just trying to get rid of the and, or what's going on there, Drew?
I will be second to none from now on.
Except to Rob.
Except to Rob, yeah. Gotta wait for the introduction. I'll be second to one from now on.
Are you getting tired of playing third banjo or what?
No, it's not the worst, I just needed something new.
Dang it. Well, hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Tonight, we want to jump into an awesome main topic. We're going to talk best cover songs, and we're also going to jump into a listener question from the folks over at another podcast called Flicks X-Raid. They threw out a great question, and so we're going to jump into that in just a little while. But before we do, a couple of things, fellas, that I want to talk about. Number one, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but we have an actual pretty active listening audience outside of the U.S.
Oh, perfect.
And so we just want to give a little shout out to our Australian listening audience, our audience in the UK, and our audience in Ireland. Dude, those are the three countries besides the U.S. that are our next most listened to countries. So
perfect.
That's also
what's up, everybody?
in our...
All white people.
Perfect.
Dang. Diversity now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the challenge for the next episode, okay? Each one of us gets to pick a dialect, and we have to speak that way.
Oh, dude.
For the rest.
Oh, out of these three?
Yeah, I pick Ireland.
Yeah, that's going to be... Oh, my God. What are you going with,
this
Drew?
is going to be a struggle for me, dude.
Good day, mate. So bad. Anyways, okay, so a couple things to take care of. Number one, fellas, I did run a poll this last week based on our last episode. Yeah, talking about, so basically in our recast a film, Nicolas Cage edition.
Oh, perfect.
Josh,
yes.
You and I both made an attempt to to do our best Nicolas Cage. Yeah. I would submit that they were both bad, but
I would agree with that.
I threw it out there and I said, okay, let us know who had the best Nicolas Cage impression.
Wait, of the two of us? That was the poll?
Out of you and I.
Not who had the better pick of a movie to replace with Nicolas Cage. Who had the better impression? Okay. All right.
Who had the least craptacular Nicolas Cage impression? Because they were both bad. Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Good. Twitter lets you do multiple choices besides just the two. And so it was you, me, or you both sounded like Keanu Reeves. So it ended up actually being a tie between me and us both sounding like Keanu Reeves. I apologize.
That's really odd.
So yeah. So there you go. We apologize to Nicolas Cage.
I don't.
So all right. So I don't know, fellas, help me out here. Have you guys heard about this whole like Laural versus Yanni thing all over social media?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it not the most ridiculous thing? I mean,
it's the internet, dude. It's the internet in 2018. Of course, it's ridiculous. Everything is.
Here's the deal. Lines, like divisive lines are being drawn. People are debating over this, and it's the most ridiculous, like probably the dumbest thing that you could argue about, because it's so definitely, without a doubt, it's Laural, dude. I mean, am I right?
No, I thought it was Gary.
See, that's so weird, dude, because I was
it was either Gary or Larry.
I kept hearing Freddie. So
dude, yeah.
Oh, you got to be kidding me right now.
No, dude.
Who's Laural?
My friend sent me that either yesterday or the day before, and he was like, what do you hear? And I saw Yanni and Laural, and I was like reading it while I was listening to it, and I was like, I'm hearing Gary, dude. I have no idea why, but Gary's coming through loud and clear on my end. And even after I have been told what it is, I still hear Gary.
You just hear Gary.
Yeah, dude.
That is the most ridiculous thing.
Gary.
Gary.
So,
dude, I listened to it, and it was just without a doubt. It was definitely Laural. So I showed it to my wife. I was like, what do you hear? She heard the Yammy or Yanni or whatever it was. So I find this video that's like this guy explaining it, and he breaks it down and he splits the track.
He spent time breaking down a stupid viral video, dude.
But what's funny?
We need to get him on this podcast.
I know, for real. He splits the track into the upper frequency and the lower frequency, and he's like, obviously the issue here is the upper frequency is saying Yanni, and the lower frequency is saying Laural. There you go. It's explained. So I play it for my wife. She hears the lower register, and she's like, oh, yeah, I hear Laural. And then she hears the upper register, and she's like, yeah, it says Yanni. I listen to both. They both freaking say Laural, dude, I swear. I don't know what to do with my life right now.
I don't know why, but this reminds me of a Far Side Gallery cartoon from when I was younger. It was like one of those 4 square cartoons that Gary Larson made. And it was all predicated on the glass half empty, glass half full type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So the first one was this guy saying, oh, the glass is half full, like looking all like happy, that type of thing. Next one was like this older guy that was like half empty, he's like, he looks all angry and stuff. The next one is like this anxious person that's like, half empty, half full, half empty, half full. Like, couldn't decide. And the fourth one tops it off. It's just this, like, looks like a 40-year-old dude. He said, "Hey, I ordered a cheeseburger." I don't know why it reminded me of that, but that's how I think of it, dude.
Sorry.
Like, you are the cheeseburger.
There you go, for real. Laural, Yanni. No, it's Gary. You know what? Maybe that's what it is, dude. Gary. You know what? Forget it. From now on, hashtag Team Gary. There
That's
it is.
right.
Josh,
yeah.
Josh, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I've recently discovered I am slipping into the next phase of raising a child, nay, a young boy, into what's supposed to be a man at some point, right?
Uh-oh.
And my wife and I were, yeah, exactly.
Hopefully he never listens to our podcast.
We're keeping it family friendly over here, unless you count the gooey duck. Never mind.
We've really been sliding off the deep end lately.
I wouldn't say sliding off the deep end, just like playing with the
Dipping a toe.
line. Playing with the line. It's not a dot yet, so
Exactly.
we're okay. Anyway. So my wife and I are in the family room with the kids earlier this week, right? And we're all just hanging out, and we got one of the like coolest new items out there. We got an Apple TV, like in the last 2 weeks. We have an Apple
Nice.
TV now because we can actually stream stuff. So like we're all happy about it. And anyone who has an Apple TV knows that you can actually speak into the remote to like do your searches.
Wait, you're
search
okay
for
with
anything,
that?
right? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying the feature's
okay.
there. Yeah, I still actually type everything.
I can't
out
believe
'cause
you. I can't believe you
trust
bought one of those, dude. It's
You
tracking
need that
everything.
voice recognition.
This is a streaming device. On Apple TV, I'm still known as J Carr. So, because I had to make something up. I don't want to give away my real name.
Yeah, they don't know it's you.
Yeah, but for his profile picture, there is a picture of Frankenstein. So
Exactly. Anyway, so we're sitting in the living room. My son's playing with the Apple TV, right? And we're just sitting there, like all, just I'm talking with the wife. The girls are playing, and my son's like looking for something on the Apple TV. And then all of a sudden, both of us hear these 2 words: Lego boobs.
what?
Yeah, no, that's what I said too. We both look over at him, and we're like, "What did you just say?" And he was like, and we look at the TV real quick, and there it is, right there on the screen. Lego boobs. No search for Lego boobs can be found.
That's amazing.
We're like, what the crap?
So he said that into the remote.
Yeah, he said it into the remote. held down the button and said it into the remote. So we look at him, and we're like, what are you looking for? He was like, no, I didn't say that. I said Lego police.
Wait, but you heard him.
Yeah, but we heard him. We totally heard him. And I was like, no, you didn't. Why are you looking for Lego boobs? He was like, no. I said Lego police. Siri just didn't hear me. He's 8 years old. He can say Siri and knows what Siri is, but, totally denying Lego boobs. And I was like, Josiah, dude, what is the matter with you? Like, do you even know what boobs are? And, like, his face just turns beet red.
Sure.
Doesn't know how to answer the question, right? Thinks he's going to get in trouble if he says the right thing. So he just sits there. I said Lego police.
I'm just gonna stick with that.
I have to give my son credit, dude. He's smart. He chooses when not to say something, and then he just commits. He just commits,
dude,
to what he's gonna go with, man.
I did not say Lego boobs to that woman.
So I was just, it made me laugh because I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely reaching that next phase. Now, if my son wants to see boobs, I don't know if Lego figurines are the
Do they
best
have 'em?
course of action.
Hey,
No,
dude, everybody's into something, man.
That's gonna be the next big thing.
yeah.
Oh no.
So
Minecraft.
I made it worse. I think like earlier today when he and I were working outside because I was running some new electrical all over the place, right? And he actually wanted to come out and help me. And if any of you, if either one of you or anyone out there has ever done like construction of some kind, doesn't matter what it is, like there's pieces that fit together, and one side of one piece is always known as the male piece, and the other side of the piece is always known as the female piece.
Oh,
right?
is this your chance?
Yeah.
All right.
You had the conduit talk.
The conduit talk, yes. So
Giggity, giggity.
he's helping me run all the conduit for all the electrical, right? That we're installing and putting in. And I tell him, I was like, hey, so when you run this, there's one side of the conduit that's bigger than the other. This bigger side is called the female piece, or the female end. The other side is called the male end. And I just realized what I said. Going off of Lego boobs recently.
Yeah.
Then I throw this little number out there. And he was like, we just sit there for a second. You can tell the wheels are turning. And he's like, why do they call it male and female?
Oh no.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh crap, what do I
no,
tell
you're in
him?
the hot seat.
Yeah. And just as I'm about to answer, he says, I know why.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, why? And he was like, because one piece is bigger than the other. And I was like, that's exactly right.
Perfect. Perfect.
In that moment when he was like, why do they call one male and one female? You should have just sat there and then looked at him and said, I said Lego police.
You're exactly right. That's exactly what he said. Yeah. So that was my week, man. I'm quickly having to adapt to an adaptable little man. So he's starting to discover anatomy. So,
Welcome to the jungle, man.
yeah, it's vicious out there, people. It's vicious. So
You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
yeah. So good times. Now, Drew, you were
Nice.
telling me a story before we started the podcast. I don't know if that's the one you want to go with, but how is your week going so far?
Dude, I had an awesome week. I had all kinds of fun stuff happen. So it started out, Monday, we went to a concert in Fresno. We went to see Nothing More and Papa Roach. Well,
Wait,
we
what?
went to see Nothing More. Papa Roach was also playing there.
They happened to show up.
Yeah. So the lineup went Escape the Fate, Nothing More, Papa Roach, and we were going with some friends of ours. And, before we went, I have to get up early for work the next day. My buddy Luke has to get up early for work the next day. And I'm like, dude, to be honest with you, I'm not that big of a Papa Roach fan. I've been listening to Last Resort for like 20 years now, and it wasn't that good then, and it's even worse now. So, it's like, if we leave before Papa Roach comes out, I'm cool with that, dude. Like, I don't need to hear it. I'll pay $50 just to see Nothing More.
Now, according to Rob from like several episodes ago, they do have a new single that he absolutely loves.
Okay, wait. That was an accident.
What? Hang on. What song is that?
Dude, remember I was riding in a car that had satellite radio, and I happened to hear the tail end of American Dreams.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
realize-
right. That's right.
I didn't realize it was Papa Roach.
Should have stuck around for American Dreams.
Dude, okay. So and we didn't want to watch Escape the Fate either. So we got there just in time before Nothing More went on.
Okay.
And it was perfect, dude. They killed it. It was absolutely amazing. They could have played for 3 hours, dude. I would have been pumped. So they get done. All these other people finally start showing up because they all wanted to see Papa Roach, right?
Yeah, of course.
And they play like 2 songs, and I look down to my left, and I see my friends, and they don't look so happy. And I look to my right, and I see my wife. She looks even less happy. And not this whole time, dude. On the way to the show, I have this hangnail forming, and my finger's starting to swell up, dude.
Oh, dude.
And so the whole concert, I'm just sitting here like trying to pull pressure away from it and stuff. But, you know, like when I was happy and listening to bands that I liked, it didn't bother me as much. Once Papa Roach came on, it's like it just grew and grew and grew. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, we got
enlarging.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm just like slamming it on the ground. You know, maybe it'll just numb up.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, dude, finally we took off, you know, and it was just, it just reminded me, you know, how terrible that band is. And not only that, dude, he gets up on stage, and after the second song, he goes, "What's up, Fresno? It's good to be back in the 209."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hey,
so you're going to preface that, right? You're going to explain that?
Then he goes on to say, "I grew up all around this area. He's all, it's good to be home." He's naming like Mariposa, Awani, you know, like all these places.
Gosh.
And I'm like, dude, it hasn't been 209 for a long time. Probably 20 years,
It's been
dude.
20 years.
Probably 25, maybe.
Yeah. When Last Resort came out.
Yeah. Cut my zip code in 2 pieces.
Oh, dude. Yeah. It was just so bad. It's like I was never really into the rap rock thing in the first place, you know? And then they just definitely, you know, weren't good at it. So it was kind of it was bad, dude. And it just, you know, trashy as could be also. And, you know, everyone there was our age, of course. You know, there was kids.
Did you stick around and hear them play Broken Teeth?
Dude, I don't know what I listened to. I heard 3 songs, I think.
That's the song where they ripped off Under Oath, bro.
2 or 3 songs. And
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
dude, honestly, after Nothing More, it was just not exciting whatsoever.
There you go.
They weren't good. If
So
I
the
was
lesson
them,
here
I
is-
wouldn't want to go up on stage after Nothing More. That'd be embarrassing, dude. That'd be really embarrassing.
That's kind of how I felt about every other band after we saw Story of the Year for the first time.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's dude.
So the lesson here is everybody go out right now and listen to Nothing More, basically.
Yeah, dude, those dudes are legit. So that was one thing. The other thing that I had, so I know previously I've talked about, you know, telemarketers calling me and, you know, having to deal with them and talk to them constantly. So I get it's the same people all the time. It's automated thing, and it's like, oh, this is card services. This is your last time to lower the interest rate on your credit card. They've been calling me for 6 months, telling me this is my last chance to lower my interest rate on my credit card.
Liars.
This is your
dude.
last resort, dude.
So, you know, like I said before, initially I would just ask them to take me off their do not call or put me on their do not call list. You know, please don't call me anymore. That didn't work. So then I started rolling with it and pretending like I was a credit card holder and I was giving them information.
Right.
So yesterday they called me again. And
no.
I was sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, am I going to pick it up? If I'm going to pick it up, what am I going to say? Like, I don't want to be on the phone for 20 minutes. Like, it's fun, but it's not. I'm kind of working right now. My father-in-law's back there watching me, you know, and I'm talking to these people. And so I decide to pick up, and it's like, push 1 if you'd like to be connected to an agent. So I push 1. And I still don't really know what I'm going to say. And
I can't wait.
the dude picks up the phone, or he answers, and he goes, "Oh, good evening. Did you push 1 to lower the interest rates on your credit card?"
Was that your Indian?
Yeah, dude. I
voice?
told you I'm not good at this stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I told you I'm gonna struggle on the impersonations. So he asked me that, and I go, "Oh, what's this for?" And he goes, "To lower the interest rate on your credit card." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the tranny hotline."
Oh no.
What? He goes, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was dialing for the tranny hotline. This isn't the tranny hotline." He goes, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No, I really thought this isn't the tranny hotline." He goes, "No." And I was like, "Are you sure? You kind of sound like a tranny to me." And then he cussed me out and hung up the phone.
Oh man.
So that's how I'm answering it from now on.
And then did you turn around and get a high five from your father-in-law or what?
Well, all he saw was me spraying with one hand and me talking on the phone with the other. And then because there was the engine on the Gator was going and then the engine for the sprayer was going, so he couldn't hear me. But I hung up my phone and I turned around and I just gave him a thumbs up and a smile.
Oh man.
Well, hey, tonight we want to jump into an awesome topic. Tonight we want to talk best cover songs. Look, we all have heard a band cover a song and do it poorly. And then there's some bands out there that will just take a song and they'll reinvent it. They'll make it new. They'll make it amazing. They'll make it better than the original maybe. And tonight that's what we want to talk about. So, fellas, best cover songs. Who wants to go first?
The one that I chose to go with, and I think this one was actually one of those songs that did make the original just, not as good, because this was a great cover. I am talking the original song by Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
Ooh.
Covered by a band no one's heard of, Nonpoint. But we've all seen Miami Vice, right? Yeah.
Dude.
Was that on there?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think?
I haven't seen Miami Vice either.
Oh my gosh. Do you think when they got the call that they were like, hey, we want you to be on the Miami Vice soundtrack, they were like, guys,
Sweet.
this is our big break.
Yeah. Oh, we want your cover. Dang it.
After 20 years, you've made it.
Yeah. So I went with this one because, the new version sounds like, the band might be on meth a little bit. And, it's like, it's new rock too, but it's so much better than the original Phil Collins version. Now, I know there are a lot of 55-year-olds out there who are going to disagree with me, really, really hard, because how do you top Phil Collins? But, let's be honest, okay? In the Air Tonight was Phil Collins' #1 single of his entire career until Disney hired him to write the soundtrack for Tarzan. So, you can only go up from his music at that point, in my opinion.
Oh my
Dude,
Okay, so
I'm having a hard time hearing this, to be honest with you. I love Phil.
You're a big fan of Phil?
they both
Dude,
play
he is a talent. Hey,
they
that's
both play drums. They're both
he's a
losing
drummer.
their hair.
He's
Oh my gosh.
okay. Okay. He's a drummer who stepped from behind the kit
That's true.
and took the lead.
There you go, dude.
He grabbed that bull by the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
That's how he handles his business. He actually did that once.
Anyway,
Dude, let me ask you a question, Josh. You
yeah.
use the word new rock. Is that a polite way of saying butt rock?
that is a very polite way of saying butt rock. Yes.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
But okay, so here's the thing that's hilarious, right? And if everybody remembers "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins, okay, the song is just totally chill. And when I say chill, I mean Phil sounds like he's puffed down 3 joints. It's chill all the way from the beginning, okay? And everyone always waits for that one moment in the song. And you guys know what moment I'm talking about in the song.
Of course.
Probably the most famous Phil in history.
No, and it's so easy,
dude.
right?
Both the person and the drum.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's awesome.
You got me there.
That drummer humor right there.
Yeah. That would normally qualify as a dad joke, but we'll let it go on this one. So what I like about the new version is it's basically that Phil. Ting ting.
Yes.
It's that Phil all the way through the song. They literally do that all the way through the song.
Dude.
The drummer is just like and it's just phenomenal. So I chose "In the Air Tonight" by Nonpoint,
Dude,
as a great redo.
Okay,
Phil Collins.
real quick. Here's how awesome Phil Collins is, okay? They have a top 10 list of his #1 hits.
Okay.
A top 10 list. That means there's more.
Okay.
These
Yeah,
are just
for real.
the top 10.
I don't know if I agree with that, because if he only had 10 hits, then technically they're all in the top 10.
No, these are all #1 singles.
You can tell these drummers stick together.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, they stick together. Get on iTunes, look up Nonpoint, check out their version of In the Air Tonight. It's going to blow your mind.
Just those jungle drums, dude. Oh my gosh. All right.
It's amazing.
So I remember the first time that I heard this cover. It wasn't as impressive to me as once I saw the video for it. Once I saw the video, I think it totally changed my mind and sort of like completely opened up I don't know, just like a whole new avenue for it.
Like
and I'm
how
talking about
how you felt about it, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I'm talking about the song Hurt, previously by Nine Inch Nails, but covered by Johnny Cash. And there's not really anything funny about it. It's just pretty much the most amazing cover of all time because, like, when you see the life of and you hear the life of Johnny Cash and then you hear him singing this song, like, I don't know, dude. It just freaking blew my mind. I loved it.
You're getting real with us right now.
I am, dude. I'm getting super confessional
You're
with
getting
you
super
right
real right now.
I like that.
I hurt myself today.
You know, I actually didn't even realize that this cover existed. I thought Johnny Cash died before Nine Inch Nails became a band. So,
Oh my god.
Hang on, Nine Inch Nails have been around for a long time.
Dang it.
I realize that now.
Johnny Cash hasn't been dead that long.
Oh my gosh. Dude,
I'm just saying, those are two bands or two styles of music you don't put together.
Oh, sure.
You
Yeah.
know, and-
dude, I think that's also what makes it cool. And, dude, that's awesome for Nine Inch Nails, too, that Johnny Cash covered one of their songs. That's pretty rad, dude.
I would say that's probably
yeah.
an honor.
I will also
having
go on
an
to
icon
say
like
that I do like this song, and it's on my sleeping playlist.
Oh, for the Johnny Cash version? You just like to be depressed in your dreams?
It helps me go night-night.
The sad thing is it's song number 15 and he usually falls asleep by song 3.
It helps me get that REM sleep, dude.
No, gets you that real good, that deep down REM sleep. That's a good show. No, dude, I was reading an article where Trent Reznor actually said that I think if I remember correctly, he never even met Johnny Cash during the process. He just heard that it was going to happen. He said that was cool. And then basically once it happened, he heard the demo and it just like blew his mind. One of the things that Trent Reznor actually said was that when he heard the recording, that it was almost like a dude like finding out that his girlfriend had like slept with another man or something, because he's hearing this like personal, like intimate thing that he wrote, and he's hearing somebody else, you know, sing it in a different way and stuff. It's just, I don't know, dude. I just think that's so crazy.
That's one way of explaining it, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what the heck Trent Reznor's into.
It really does. But, you know,
Dude, watch his music videos.
The sad part of it is, you know, the reality that, you know, if I'm probably for anyone, if you were put up against Johnny Cash for your girlfriend or wife to choose, they're always going to choose Johnny Cash. Like, of course. So, I mean, it just hurts that much more, you know?
Oh, yeah, dude.
She's like, but why? But why? And he would just look at you and go, I'm Johnny Cash.
With that, yeah, dude. Women like the deep voice. They like the deep voice.
That's right. Yeah, they do. So, so then I also want to, I also have a couple of honorable mentions. Number one, dude, my favorite band of all time, Bear's Den. Okay, they did a cover of Drake's.
Favorite band of all time?
Dude, I would say that they're probably, dude. Like, they're probably
serious.
They're probably up there, number one.
Wow.
Definitely
above
top 2.
Metallica?
Oh, for sure.
What?
Dude, I went through a Metallica phase.
That wasn't a phase, dude. It was a lifestyle.
No, that was a lifetime. That was a lifetime. No, it was a lifetime.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
Yeah.
You are
dude,
ridiculous.
I mean, I seriously thought at one point that you didn't know where Rob Lambert ended and what was his name?
James Hetfield. James Hetfield.
Everyone always forgets who he is, you know. So it's like
I was gonna give someone else credit. Dave Mustaine.
No, dude.
The
Don't
real
you put that
talent
curse
behind
on me.
Metallica.
What do you mean? Okay, anyways. Bear's Den does an amazing cover of Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake.
Okay.
Oh, dude. It's sexual. Let me just say that. It's sexual. And then last but not least, if you're looking for that sweet, sweet Taylor Swift vibe, Go on YouTube, look up a band called The Weight of Atlas. They covered the song Style by Taylor Swift.
No, hard pass.
No, dude.
Dude, I was gonna.
I don't
pass
listen
on
to Taylor
Drake.
Swift. Just like I don't pay attention to France. I
Oh
just
my gosh.
I don't listen to Drake, so I'd imagine that the Bears Den one is definitely better. Drake is the most tired sounding singer in the industry.
yeah. True story.
Yeah.
True story.
Like, yo, just hold on. We're going home.
Yeah. I just woke up from a nap.
What did he say?
I'm in the studio. Dude, so let me ask you a question, Josh. Are you telling me that, like, the worst idea, like the worst day you could have, bing bong, your doorbell rings, you open the door, it's Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And she's like, yo, I've got a blank space. I'll write your name. I'm going to fly you to France. And you're like, this is a nightmare.
No. I turn and slam the door in her face. High priestess of Satan. Yes, I do.
Oh, there you go.
You don't get on a plane with that woman.
Dude, you wouldn't try to get her on the podcast?
Maybe. That could be fun.
Dude, I think if I meet famous people from here on out, that's going to be my first goal. Hey, do you want to be on our podcast? It's really fun.
You're going to love it. We think you're a high priestess in the Church of Satan, but it'll be a gas.
But come on, do us a solid. Okay, anyways. All right, Drew, take us home, man. Best cover song.
I think I have picked the sexiest cover song by far.
Sexier than Bears Den?
I think I listened to them one time when you showed me, and I don't remember them.
It was a low sex factor for you?
Not very gooey ducky.
All right, what is possibly sexier
We'll just
than
put it
Bears
this
Den?
way. I have iTunes Radio, and I didn't download it. So,
right.
dude, I'm going with 311 Love Song.
False.
Oh,
False.
dude.
No, false.
Wait.
False.
What?
Yeah, Adele totally blew that song out of the water way better than 311.
Adele?
Adele.
Hers was good, dude, but it wasn't
Okay,
311.
continue on.
Okay,
I just wanted to say false.
dude, okay, what makes it even sexier is The Groove by none other than Chad Sexton. Boom. Dude, and he just nails it out. Hey, how long, dude, did we listen to that song? And we're like, dude, that
Sex.
right there, yeah, dude, that right there.
I remember thinking to myself that
That
it
is
would have
why-
been made better had Phil Collins been playing the
That song is the reason why Elizabeth and I are having a child in August.
Oh, okay. Now we're really getting confessional.
Now we just got real.
Dude, no, I think they crushed that song, dude. It's just like so chill all the way through, dude.
How many times has that song been redone now?
A lot, dude, but it's such a great song. But I mean, the Cure's version was amazing, dude, so it's not like I could even say that it was better than the original, because the original was great.
Yeah.
It's just a great song.
I think you're onto something, Josh. Like, you make me feel like I am home again. Du-dum, 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 du-dum. I love it. I think that could.
I think it would work. Maybe we should redo Love Song.
There you go, for real. Dude, I remember back in the band days when we'd be done practicing, we'd go into the house, we'd turn on Fuse,
Right.
pour one out for Fuse, if anybody remembers Fuse. We're watching music videos.
Not our
Dude,
listeners.
that music video, yeah, for real. That music video would come on and Drew would just be like, guys, just shut up. Just leave me alone for a while. Crank it up. Oh, it's so good.
Dude, it's such a good song, man.
It might have been because, now this might just be the conspiracy theorist in me. I don't know. But because it was predicated off of 50 First Dates. And the hottie in that movie, her name was also Drew. And,
look at this guy drawing lines to everything, dude. That's so good.
It's like a 7 degrees to everything, dude.
Yeah, for real.
don't get me started.
Somehow it all leads back to Kevin Bacon.
There it is. Who is the high priest of the Satanic Church, alongside Taylor Swift. Oh my
That guy's a real jerk.
All right. Well, hey, we'd love to hear from you guys via social media. What is your favorite cover song? What is the worst cover song? Throw it out there. We'd love to hear about it. You can hit us up on Twitter at youmehepodcast or on Instagram at youmehepodcast. And speaking of keeping the conversation going, tonight we have a listener question from those good folks over at Flix X-Raid. It's another podcast that you can check out on iTunes or on Twitter at Flix X-Raid. It's all one word there. And they ask this: if you could eat any exotic animal, extinct or not, what would it be and how would you want it prepared?
Ooh,
you can eat.
This is a good question.
Any exotic animal.
Drew, you want to start?
Yeah. I am now a vegetarian. So, I guess mine would be like a nice juicy pineapple, with like an avocado
Wait.
and a
An
grapefruit.
exotic animal.
Yeah, but I don't eat those, so
Are you legitimately a vegetarian?
Yeah.
There's
Pretty.
Okay, I am finding
dances
out
the
about
line.
this.
Yeah, he dances the
I
line.
am finding out about this right now live with you listeners. Drew.
Since Andrew's
bad
now
news.
a vegetarian.
So hang on,
Oh,
a pineapple,
Ooh.
okay.
an avocado, grapefruit for the health factor, but
Okay.
So you can eat a fruit salad.
and then a dragon fruit, dude. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Yeah.
They sell them in the store. They're like a kind of a spiky little thing. They're like
Yeah.
purple and green.
Yeah, they look
kinda.
So
like
you don't
they
want to
got,
eat the rind.
Have you ever had one, Rob?
I have never eaten a dragon fruit.
That
But-
because they're like $7 a piece.
They
They're
seem-
small.
I was afraid it'd be too
Ship them
spicy.
in from Fiji on
Dude.
a daily basis.
They're good. You should try it. It's really good. So yeah, I guess that would be mine. But if I wasn't vegetarian, probably like in some sort of albino lion.
False. So- since you are a vegetarian, I'm going to make your suggestion for you. How, sir, would you like to prepare your Venus flytrap?
Oh my god. Oh my.
That's the middle ground.
That's the middle ground. And I'm
It's like
be thinking like
semi-sentient.
Little Shop of Horrors here. Like
Yeah.
that's where we're going off of. How, sir, would you like your Venus flytrap prepared?
Dude, I'm a big fan of my smoker. I guess I'm gonna have smoked Venus flytrap. Yeah.
Perfect.
That is beautiful. Dude, as soon as I saw this question, there was no hesitance.
Me
There was
either.
one thing. Okay,
either.
good.
Yeah.
There was one thing that popped in my head, like an image, like a beautiful, glorious vision appeared before me. And as soon as I thought about this exotic beast that I was going to munch on, I thought about the most deadliest prey there is, man. No, I'm just kidding. Not that.
Okay,
No,
Hannibal.
dude. The image, all I thought of was Lego boobs. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, dude, the first thing that popped in my head was at the end of the episode, like at the end of any episode of Flintstones, when they pull up to the drive-in and Fred, puts his finger up and he's like, "One, please."
Oh,
and they
yeah.
bring the huge freaking ginormous rack of like brontosaurus ribs or whatever those are, and they put them on the car and it falls over. I was
Yeah.
like, dude,
They look
I
so
just wanna
good.
I want to crawl up into that rack of ribs and eat my way out. What do you think about that, Drew? You want to get in on this?
Dude,
Just pulling for two?
the thing is I still love meat. That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, I just had
Have y'all
ribs
done
tonight
it?
actually.
I saw them on the way in, dude. They look super good. Yeah.
Baby back ribs. They were really delicious.
Did you do the?
You know it.
Okay, I'm
Yep.
not gonna say it out
Yep.
loud because
Don't-
no one
don't
else
give it away.
deserves to.
That's right.
You know what? Just in this moment, the two of you guys, it almost sounded like an episode of Delicious Dish where you're like, yeah, I really do love some ribs. Do you like ribs? How do you like your ribs? Josh, how do you like to have your ribs? Anyways,
Yeah.
give me
Anyways.
the. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I will go on record saying, and I am very confident of this, and Andrew's pretty confident of this as well. I, hands down, make the best
Dude.
baby back ribs that you can ever eat.
They
And
just
there is
high-fived.
nobody out there. Yeah, we just high-fived.
Dude.
There's nobody out there that is going to beat my killer recipe. Everyone who has them absolutely says the first time, these are the best ribs.
And I make
I've
the
ever
second
had."
best.
Yeah.
And according to them, all of my friends who haven't tasted Josh's, I make the best.
Maybe we should have a poll. Who makes the best ribs?
No, that's not fair because his recipe is my recipe. That's not right. He scammed it. And like,
No. Whoa. That right there. You said, I'm going to share this with you because this is our family recipe now.
Yeah, but if
and
people
now
are
you're calling
telling
it a
you-
scam.
Oh, wait, I get it. You were actually supporting me. By people saying that you have the best ribs, they are actually saying that I make the best ribs because it was
By proxy.
my recipe.
By proxy. Yeah, you're good.
Sure. Yeah, I tell them it's a
I like that look towards the ceiling. What's up there, by the way?
You work for the bank. The bank works for me. Ipso facto, I'm your boss.
Dude, seriously.
I just tell them it's the Carroll family recipe. It's been in the family for
I
generations.
don't want you to think of me as your boss.
Oh my
Too
gosh.
good.
Anyways.
That's too good.
Okay, Josh.
Yes.
What about you, man?
Yeah.
Anything out there?
So
What could it be?
I'm going to say I have no preparation for this. I'm strictly doing this because I want the eternal life, and I'm saying dragon hearts.
Eternal
Josh.
life.
Oh,
Like
I thought you were
straight
gonna
from
take
the body
communion
of
or
the
something.
dragon. Just pull that heart out and just
dang,
eat into
dude.
it, dude. Like
I thought
all
you do
Viking
the
style.
I thought you
Yeah,
do the
like
Christian
all
thing for the
Viking style.
eternal life.
Yeah, that too.
I thought he was talking about Jesus. If I could have any exotic beast prepared, it would be our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Oh, we're so going to hell. I
Yeah, dude,
apologize.
I'm not even touching that one because that's something that probably the high priestess Taylor Swift would comment on. So
Yeah, for real.
I'm not gonna go there.
You don't think that she would more so go eating the dragon heart route?
No, I
Or-
don't. No, I don't. I really don't.
Dude, if anybody has access to a dragon, it's probably Satan, right?
Or his high priestess.
Exactly. Anyways. All right, well, we'd love to hear from you on social media. What do you think? What is the most exotic animal that you would love to eat, and how would you like to see it prepared? Hit us up on Twitter at youmehepodcast or on Instagram at youmehepodcast. And thanks again to Flix X-Raid for dropping that question our way. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check them out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. You can find them out there. There'll be some good stuff. Now, fellas, as we come to the end of our time, we are older, we are wiser. What wisdom or advice would you give to a younger you? Let's take it to Socrates.
So I think if I were to just look back on my life in general, I think I would start with when I first learned that one end of a conduit is called male and the other end of the conduit is called female. And I would start with the question of, why not just change it? So I'm not in the awkward place with my son 30 years from now trying to keep human anatomy away from him before he's ready. So,
Dude, wait till you get into-
I'd probably go on like a massive mission. Like, we got to change this. This is just a nightmare for parents everywhere.
Guys, this cannot be the new standard.
The problem is that when you get into parts that have to do with it too, it makes it even. Hey, this is a nipple.
This is an O-ring.
Oh, gosh. This is called the sphincter.
And it blows emissions.
What were they thinking?
I don't know,
Oh,
dude.
gosh.
They weren't. Or they were either all really high or someone thought it was going to be really funny one day.
Perverts, all of them.
I mean, they did name a planet Uranus, so what are we talking about?
If you believe in that
Anyways.
sort of thing.
Oh, jeez. Conspiracy Corner. Here we go. I love it.
What's that I hear?
Drew, what about you, man?
Dude, if I could go back, I would have left long before Papa Roach took the stage.
Yeah.
Dude, what a nightmare. Dude, it was so brutal. Yeah.
You would have been home and already 15 songs deep into your sleepy time playlist.
Oh,
By the
yeah.
time they hit the stage.
Yeah, dude, Hurt would have been on.
Their next single,
I've been rocking that sleep.
their next single, however, will be called Hangnail. Just to let you know.
Oh, no, dude.
This is how everyone feels at our show.
All right. Well, hey, based on everything that we've talked about tonight, I think the number one thing that I've learned, there's so many situations in my life where my mouth got me in trouble, things I said, and if I would have just shut my mouth, and when they asked me to explain myself, I just looked at them and said, I said Lego police. It would have got me out of so much trouble. So that's the thing. From now on, just if you ever get into any situation, either plead the fifth or just say Lego police and you're good.
Yeah. You got to sell it, though. You got to really believe it.
That's right. All right. Well, we just want to say thanks to everybody for listening and for supporting the show. Make sure you're going wherever you get your podcast and leaving us a review and a rating there. It really helps out the show. And hey, until next time, I'm Rob Lambert.
This is
Drew Carroll.
What? All right.
Dude, wait, hang on. No. Oh, it doesn't feel so good to go last?
No, it doesn't. And with that little sadness, have a good night, everybody. This is Just Frankenstein.
Signing out.
Da-dum, 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 da-dum.